Hello, Broken Arrow. This is City Council Rewind for the meetings that were held on June 2nd, Monday, June 2nd. We're doing that because of Tuesdays in the Park during the month of June. I'm Aaron McCulloch. This is Vice Mayor Johnny Parks. Mr. Parks, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this discussion.
And so many items last night, very long meeting. I understand it started at 6:30, and with executive session, you all didn't get out of here till close to 11 p.m.
Right.
So a lot of business of the people that was done.
It was a long evening. I just hope you don't expect me to remember everything, but there was a lot of important items on the agenda last night.
There's one check mark for you right there then. Well, let's talk about an item that was on consent, and this is an agreement with ONG for Tucson Street and Aspen Avenue intersection. They're going to relocate some gas lines. You want to talk just a little bit about that?
You know, I think that's good. A lot of times items get lost on the consent agenda. We look through them, the council looks through all the consent agenda, and we vote it all in one block. But this was a great item. Oklahoma Natural Gas is a good utility to work with us, and we've worked together for years. If gas lines need to be moved, you know what I mean, they're good to work with us. In fact, this particular one last night, the total cost to move it there on Tucson and Aspen was $220,000 or more. And the city's portion of that is $135,000. So it's a team effort between us and ONG. And ONG has been good to work with all these years, and we look forward to working with them for more years to come.
Well, speaking a lot of work, this next item kind of plays into that. It was the presentation of the proposed FY fiscal year 26 municipal budget. This is one of those big responsibilities that you and council have each and every year.
If you go to the city council handbook statewide, it will tell you that this is the most important item that a councilman does. He works on the budget, or she works on the budget, they work on the budget, and to approve the budget for the city. So this is extremely important. I always put an asterisk with that. It's important that you have a good city manager too. A good city manager can develop a budget to make it easy to read and easy to for us to appropriate areas where it need to go to. And this city manager, Michael Spurgeon, does a great job in doing that. But we was excited. We've met with it in a work session. We went last night, and then we're going to be looking at it at our next council meeting and probably approving it. But it's a $455 million project. It's down 3.44% from last year. And it's broken down into three different areas. You have operational, capital, and debt service.
That's right.
So it is certainly important, and by law we have to have it, but we want to have a budget that we not messed up in the middle of the year, or we have to make changes right before the end of the year. Mr. Spurgeon does a great job with getting that together, answering our questions, because we always have the questions, because we go in depth to this budget.
That's right. And this isn't the first time you've seen it. You had a work session back in late May. Then you had this public hearing on June 2nd. And then final adoption is expected on June 16th, just in time for the fiscal year starting on July 1.
Right. Exactly.
Big things for the Innovation District, Arrow Forge, out in South Broken Arrow. Last night, you approved an agreement with a company. Do you want to announce who this company is, what they are, what they're bringing to South Broken Arrow?
Well, I say that with a smile because it is big. It's something that we worked for a long time, our Innovation District. The company that's going to be coming first is CSI Aerospace, a workforce of 108 employees. They were going to create 50 new full-time jobs over a 5-year period. So this total economic impact where we're working with there in the Innovation District is $26.5 million. And you want to keep in mind that we spent, and the chamber, Broken Arrow Chamber, spent a lot of time selecting this property that we have for our Innovation District. And it's going to bring a lot more strength even to that. We talked about South Broken Arrow to South Broken Arrow. But that's going to be located, the first manufacturing facility located in the Innovation District, which is right off 111th Street.
Another fantastic item was the council's authorization of the Oklahoma Water Resource Board Loan Fund. These monies help pay for our water utility capital improvements. You want to talk just a little bit about this? I know there's almost $25 million in projects that are proposed for FY26. You being a former plumber, I know this is right in your wheelhouse, and you really love these type of improvements.
Well, you know, I don't like to be called a sewer and a water guy, but I am, because the water is extremely important. I want it, for our citizens, for our kids, to make sure that we got a great water system. In fact, we're on schedule to go to Grand River and get our water here in the near future. This is something that we've done ever since I can remember, and I've been on the council for over 40 years. This is actually the Oklahoma Water Resources Board is a state agency that what we're doing is that we're borrowing money from them to do work this next year, which is the total was, as you say, $24.25 million. And that's to replace sewer lines, water lines, anything to do in that area. We can utilize that money for it. It's a low interest loan, so it's not like we've got to, well, let's save money and then we'll go in and we'll build it when we save $15 million. It takes quite a while to save $15 million. But this way you can go in and at a low interest, you can get all the money, and you don't even get it until you're actually ready to do the job. So we're not going to go borrow that money right now. We're going to wait till that sewer needs to be replaced, this water line needs to be fixed, or we need to do something at the water plant, and get that money. So they're very accommodating. We work well together because we always pay our bills, and they're always there for us when we need the funding.
And that $24.99 million will cover approximately 15 different projects and in various phases of that construction cycle too. Some of that money is going to pay for some design work, but a lot of it does look like it's for construction, both on the sanitary sewer side and on the drinking water side.
And the citizens can go to our website and look. That's
right.
Listed on our website of what exactly that money is being spent for, because we always try to be transparent in everything that we do so they know what's going on.
Absolutely. There were many other items on the agendas, and for more information, you can go to the city website and click on Agendas and Minutes in the Government section. Click on the date range drop-down list and then select the governing body. Find the meeting date of your choice and select the meeting details. You know, earlier we talked about the agreement with ONG for the intersection there at Tucson and Aspen. There was something else last night that was in the Economic Development Authority meeting and then also in the City Council meeting, and that's the new Hackberry Market. And it's going to be right there in that, northeast corner of the Tucson and Aspen intersection. You want to talk just a little bit about that and what that's going to mean for South Broken Arrow?
That is a big intersection, and what we were looking at last night was the TIF for that. I think this is our 6th TIF that we have in Broken Arrow, and this is just a simple process, the TIF, although the legal documents to put it together are quite thick. We hire attorneys to take care of that out of Oklahoma City. The TIF, all it means is, like right now, we're not getting any sales tax at all from vacant land out there. They just go out and have to mow it. There's no sales tax. So a company's coming in. They've already committed to building. There's going to be a lot of building right on the west lot of the Warren Theater. They'll be coming in and building in there. And we have an agreement, a TIF with them, which means that 2% of their revenue, taxes, they can keep. So they'll be able to keep the 2 cents out of it and use it later on. Now, they can't use it. It goes into a fund, and then they can have it once the buildings are built and ready to be occupied. So it's a way that we still get part of the tax dollars from that. We lose that 2 cents. We lose that part. We're losing that for a number of years, and then later we'll gain that. But we're still gaining all the rest of that. So it's just simply letting them use a little bit of their tax dollars, and I forgot exactly for how many years, but usually it's around 20 years, and then 20 years, then it will all go back to the city of Broken Arrow. So it's a win-win situation for both.
It's like you say. I mean, it's going to be 2%, and then the sales tax rate here for that area is 3.55. That comes back to the city. So there's still 1.55 that we're going to be able to put back into public safety, back into some operational expenses, that sort of thing.
Right. And I still would like to point out too that last night we had another development in the northeastern part of Broken Arrow, and it's going to be a large development also up by the golf course out there, and you need to go online and look at that process too, because that's going to be good. And we did get complaints about, well, why are you doing everything in South Broken Arrow? So now we can say, well, there's a large development going in northeastern part of Broken Arrow. And as the councilman at large, I kind of like to see it spread out a little bit.
I thought you had a pretty good funny line last night when you talked about that. The plaza at Forest Ridge was the development that you're talking about.
Right.
You had a funny line where you said, well, it's good that we're finally developing out in North Broken Arrow because South Broken Arrow is getting everything. So that was a very ambitious and very nice looking development. I think last night the council approved the PUD, if I remember correctly, for that mixed use opportunity.
Right.
So it's still some years in the making here, but it looks like it's going to be a very nice development, going to be for that northeast part of Broken Arrow.
And as a councilman at large, I don't pick any area. I just like Broken Arrow is Broken Arrow.
That's right.
To me. So we don't have ward politics at all. So it was a good evening. A lot of information came out, and I was pleased with most of the votes, 90% of them.
Well, 90% is almost 100%, so we'll take it.
It is.
And with that, that's it for City Council Rewind. We'll see you in a couple of weeks on June 16th, Monday, June 16th. Take care, everybody. We'll see you around town, the city where opportunity lives.
Thank you for watching. This is a production of the City of Broken Arrow, the city where opportunity lives.